Gypsy Rose Blanchard has uploaded a new YouTube video, and this video is titled 22 Weeks Pregnant, Cravings, Emotions, and Baby Plans. So this video was posted yesterday. It has 22K views, which really isn't that great for Gypsy Blanchard having this many subscribers, and it has quite a few comments that we're going to go through as well. Now, I have not yet watched this video, so I'm going to do a blind reaction, and let's just get into it. This is about 11 minutes long.
Hey everybody, so it's a brand new week. So this week I am 22 weeks pregnant, and this is my pregnancy update. So now that I am in my second trimester, I've been experiencing a lot of the things that are associated with pregnancy. So I have started to feel her kick a lot. I have started to feel those movements, and I've started to notice kind of her sleeping pattern. So I have noticed that she kicks a lot at night, anywhere from 9 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night. And she's calmer during the daytime.
That's pretty normal and pretty typical.
I've noticed that she's more active whenever I eat sweets. So I ate a Kit Kat bar, and she was up for like 2 hours, kicking me like every 5 seconds. So I'm getting used to that. So far, I mean, that part of it has been very magical. There are some times that I'm kind of like, okay, stop moving. But then whenever she stops moving and she's like asleep, that's when I start to miss her moving, actually. So that's definitely been an exciting part of pregnancy. So I'll get into some of the symptoms, like the new symptoms that I've been experiencing. Some of them is actually quite unexpected. So I have noticed that about 2 weeks ago, my thighs have started to kind of like fall asleep. It feels like my thighs are asleep. So it happens when I'm standing for a long period of time, or I'm just like, I'm laying on one side, like I'm sleeping on one side for too long. I have noticed that my thighs start to get a little tingly and numb, and even a burning sensation sometimes.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. Do you guys remember Gypsy did a live at one point where she talked about this? How her legs would get numb and she'd have to sit down? I don't remember what live stream it was. If anybody remembers, let me know in the comments. And do you remember if she was pregnant at that time? If she was, it would have been pretty early into her pregnancy. So I don't know that this is necessarily pregnancy related. I feel like it was the live where she's wearing the pink shirt and it was the season finale of Life After Lockup. That's the live I feel like it was in, but I'm not 100% sure. But I remember her talking about her thighs and her legs going numb. And I just really wonder if it's pregnancy related or if it has to do with like her chromosome disorder. That's very interesting.
So I Googled what that could be associated with because I never had that before.
Yes, she did. She did have that before. She's told us that before.
So turns out it is a symptom of pregnancy. They don't tell you about it. Not everybody gets it, but it's a form of like neuropathy that's caused by pregnancy. I forgot the term of it exactly, but I have been experiencing that, and there's nothing really anybody can do for it. It's just once I have the baby, that's whenever it will go away again. So that's been different. So usually I just kind of take breaks throughout the day, kind of sit down. If I'm walking through the mall, I just have to like
take breaks throughout the day and sit down. What are you doing all day? You don't do anything. And she says, if I'm walking through the mall. Well, that's not like on a day-to-day basis. That's like on the occasion that you leave the house and go to the mall.
Sit down for a little bit because my thighs start to burn. Cravings. So my cravings have been so far just kind of, I guess, what you would expect with pregnancy, so sweets. But one thing I am starting to learn, I swear, my baby is going to love applesauce, because I did not eat applesauce like I'm eating it now. Like before I got pregnant, I never even touched applesauce. Now I keep 2 packs in the fridge at all times.
This is normal. People have cravings, okay? And this is so boring. My God.
And I like it a certain way too. I'm kind of picky about how I like my applesauce. So I like mine cold, like I mean ice cold. So I usually take...
How's that being picky? That you like it cold?
A cup of applesauce and I put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to let it get really, really cold, because I really like it that particular way. If it's any other kind of way, if it's room temperature or if it's just kind of like kind of cold, I won't touch it. So I'm kind of picky about that. Icing has been a big one since I hit my 2nd trimester. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there are times that I do crave like apples and oranges and fruit, and there are other times that I crave sweets. So it kind of has both. When I was, before we knew the gender, I was trying to figure out the gender by doing all like the wives' tales that you hear about. So I tried one TikTok trend. It wasn't a trend. It was like a superstition. I don't even know, what do you call it? What do you call it?
A wives' tale?
Like, yeah, like wives' tale. Like, that's what they call it. So I tried the one with baking soda, that you take like a cup of baking soda and then like your urine, and if it fizzes, it's a boy, and if it doesn't fizz, it's a girl. I tried that and it fizzed. Okay, so that was that pointed to boy, right? And then I had...
These are the kind of things that she should be making as pregnancy content. When people do these wives' tale videos, like, that is a good pregnancy content video idea, as opposed to the very crappy, poor content that she's posting right now. That's like a perfect thing to make a video about. I don't understand why she wouldn't do that.
Can do like the ring thing, where you put a ring on a string and then you like dangle it over your belly, and which, if it swings back and forth, it's a boy, and if it swings in a circle, it's a girl. And it swung back and forth, so again, another sign of a boy. I didn't have morning sickness, again, another sign of a boy. And this is just what all the wives' tales are telling me, right? So before I knew the gender, everything was pointing to a boy. And so when we did find out the gender, I'm like, wow, okay, so there's really no truth to any of these like little tricks to find out anything. Okay.
What if it's not a girl? What if it's a boy? I'm just saying, it's not out of the question. This has happened to people before, where they're told the gender is one thing and it's in fact another. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy?
So, myth busted. Okay, got it. Now let's move on to hormones. So my hormones have been getting a lot better lately, because at first, like within like the first couple of weeks of my pregnancy, the first month or two, I noticed a change. I noticed that I was more sensitive, but it wasn't until the 3rd and the 4th month I was just overly sensitive. Everything was just so big to me, and everything was just such a big deal. Now that I'm in my 5th month, I'm in my 2nd trimester, 22 weeks, I feel like I'm starting to calm down. I feel like I am starting to process things like my old self used to. So we have started to shop for a crib.
What are these edits? Her PR team supposedly edits her content. They're putting these edits right in the middle of her speaking, like mid-sentence. You're supposed to edit out like dead space and pauses, and they're editing out when she's talking. So you can't even like get all of what she's saying. Like, that's just weird.
And a couple of other nursery items. I haven't found that perfect crib yet though.
So they haven't gotten a crib yet, but they're likely going to have to get 2, because Gypsy lives with her parents and Ken has his own apartment. So it's going to be interesting to see what this schedule is going to be like once the baby does come.
I really want it to be special. I want it to be something that just fits perfectly. So essentially she will have 2 nurseries because I am living at home with my parents for the time being, and Ken has his own place. So my room will be half nursery and half my room. But she will have like a whole shebang nursery at Ken's. And so we have started to think about color themes. We've started to think about what kind of theme the nursery will be. And we're really excited to start putting that together.
This is going to be really difficult for them because of Gypsy's Pearl. I don't know if Ken is allowed to stay the night over at Gypsy's, but I know she has said that she's allowed to stay the night at his for like 2 nights a week, I think it is. They're in for a huge reality check because having a newborn is not easy. They don't have a sleep schedule. So you have exhaustion and then adjusting to a newborn for the very first time all by yourself. So they're going to have a ton of challenges, especially when Gypsy now has to care for this newborn by herself. I know that Christy will also be there as well to help her, but it is very, very hard in the beginning. So it's going to be interesting to see like what kind of schedule they're going to do because this is going to be difficult.
They're really soon. So about 2 weeks ago, we had our 20-week anatomy scan. So it's not necessarily always done at 20 weeks. It could be done anywhere from 18 to 24 weeks. They just call it the 20-week anatomy scan or just anatomy scan. So when we had our anatomy scan, I was very nervous. I had researched a lot on TikTok about anatomy scans and what they're like and what they mean. So what the anatomy scan does is look at every part of her body to make sure that everything is developing normally. So they looked at her brain, they looked at her bones, they looked at her stomach, her liver, her heart, particularly her heart. And it was an ultrasound, and it was, you know, it was wonderful to see like how she's developing, and in real time, because I feel her all the time, and so I know her legs are pretty strong, but to actually like see her little feet, her little fingers, like everything just start to come together. I can remember back when I was, you know, 8 weeks pregnant, and she looked like a little chicken. And now she's a baby. Like she looks like a baby now. And so anyway, I had seen a lot of things on TikTok about what the anatomy scan is for. And so anatomy scans are to determine if there are any abnormalities whatsoever, if there would be any sort of anything going wrong. And so, I mean, it's like when you go on WebMD and then you look up a migraine and then they tell you it's brain cancer. Like, don't do that with TikTok. So if anybody is pregnant out there right now and you're about ready to do your 20-week anatomy scan, don't go to TikTok because it will freak you out and psych you out. So don't do that. Just calm down. It will be all right. So the best thing to do is just do other research. Talk to your doctor, make sure that your doctor is informing you about what to expect. And that's something that I feel like is really important, is to have a good communication line with your doctor. So anyway, so she told me everything is normal. She is developing perfectly normal. She is exactly the right size that she needs to be for, you know, the gestational age. So
didn't they already do like the genetic testing and everything that would tell them if something was wrong? Like, why is she so anxious, nervous, or concerned about this? I never looked up the anatomy test or what that did, you know what I mean? But then again, like, she has the chromosome thing, so maybe she's more concerned about it. I don't know. That it's just kind of weird to me that she's so concerned about the abnormalities and things.
Which made me feel good because I do have a smaller baby bump, so I was kind of like, is she growing like normally? I'm like, should I be like out the here pregnant already? But I also learned that a lot of women, like with their first pregnancy, they won't start showing till like later on in their pregnancy. Healthy pregnancy, everything's going good on that front. Symptoms are manageable. Overall, I think that I have a very good pregnancy. I like to say that I'm blessed that things are
She has had a very easy pregnancy. Very easy pregnancy.
Going so well. So it was a relief to know that she's developing normally. It's a relief to know that I'm healthy as the mother. And overall, like, it's going really good. So thank y'all so much for watching my pregnancy update, and stay tuned for more.
There's the baby bump. All right, so that's it, y'all. What do we think about that? I know there's been lots of speculation about, is she pregnant? Isn't she pregnant? But I mean, I think she is pregnant. I really think that she is. I think that she just knows how to like work the angles for pictures and videos and things, and maybe even sticking it out a little more for videos like this. But she's pregnant. That video was so boring and just dragging out. But now let's take a look at some comments. So her video currently has 22k views and about 1.5k comments. So I scrolled through, majority of them are negative. So this one said, anyone else completely disturbed that this woman is having a baby? You should go back to elementary school if you think she will monetize her entire pregnancy and then all of a sudden not put her kid on social media. I really, really hope she doesn't put her kid on social media. That would be a disaster. She is big bothered by everyone saying she's faking her pregnancy, so she makes a post immediately. She's so predictable. I slightly agree with this. This is the first time she's shown like her bare pregnant baby as like 22 weeks pregnant. Gypsy, where's the Make-A-Wish donation receipt you say you have? You haven't told TMZ about it, so it's not true. Be sure to take those breaks, Gypsy. Lounging by the pool and in bed all day must be really stressful and tiring. Oh God, here we go with neuropathy. If she gave two shits about this baby's well-being, she would disappear from social media. Good luck when the kid is here and you're exploiting it. Your supporters won't be so forgiving with an innocent baby. And they just go on and on and on and continue like this. So she says that her PR team is like helping her with social media, but like, what are they letting comments sit for? I mean, you would think that they would be deleting them, but apparently not. I don't buy that the PR team is editing these videos for her because they're just not good. Like, this video was so boring. Like, she was sitting on the couch the entire time. It was very monotone, drug out, and it looks like her views are like decreasing rapidly. Her first video she posted about her pregnancy journey, that has 542k views. Then we go to 59k, 86k, 23, 22. That's not that great, to be honest, for someone of her following size. So she's not making great money from her YouTube channel. She is making some, but she's not posting consistently enough. And then when you go to her TikTok and you look at those videos, majority are under a minute. And in order to make money on videos off of TikTok, they need to be over a minute long. So let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.